Welcome back to my channel, loves. I hope you all have been good. So going on to today's tutorial, the first thing I did was to prep the wig cap. I customized the frontal to be just how I wanted it to look, and I have a very detailed tutorial on how I customize my wig caps, which I'll be leaving the link at the top of the video, like at the top of your screen and at the end of this video. Of course, I'm going to recommend you watch it, after you're done seeing this tutorial, so you don't miss out on this one. This is the hair I used in this tutorial. It's from Glam Hair Collection. Now, even if you don't get Glam Hair Collection brand, but you get another one which has the same style, which is Mambo Natural Bun Locks, you're very well good to go. So I started first by fixing the braids at the back, and I did so in a very scanty way because I used just 2 packs for this wig, and I wanted to make sure that the 2 packs were going to be enough for me. So when I got to the front, I started sewing the locks on the net, and I used a very similar thread to do the sewing. As you can see, I'm starting my sewing from where I drew the black line. Please ignore the white lines you're seeing. I initially had a certain style in mind, but after considering the number of hair packs I had to change my mind and come up with another style. So the idea behind the black line is that that's where the hairline starts, but I still let a little of the crochet hair pass the black line because that's what's going to act as the baby hairs after I'm done with everything. Now, just so my part is very well pronounced, I had to draw two lines so that there'll be no mistake whatsoever. You know, me overpassing and sewing where I'm not supposed to sew and realizing it later. So after I was done with the frontal part, I came back to fill up the back area. Now there's a way I filled up this back area, considering that I didn't want to use more than 2 packs of this hair. I cut more, you know, there's a way you catch more portion of the net with your crochet pin that you end up covering much of the net with little hair. I don't know if you I just hope I'm making sense. Like ordinarily, if you're going to cut little portion of the net with your crochet pin, you most likely end up needing more hairs to fill up the net than you would have if you cut more portion of the net with the pin. So that's basically how I filled up the back area, knowing I didn't want to exceed more than 2 packs of this hair. But if you would want your own to look fuller than this, by all means knock yourself out. You know, do whatever rocks your boat, fill it up with as much packs as you think you would love, and yeah, that's it. So after I was done, I cut in between those folds that came about as I was bending and sewing. Now I'm going to explain how I sew a band on this customized wig cap, and this clip is from a previous video. Now, you also remember I mentioned not to cut the band of the wig cap. This band is going to help us for when we are sewing our own band, because we need a solid, would I say, foundation for where to sew the band on, and the net might not be strong enough. We would need the band to create that foundation. In doing so, I would place the band on the line which is by the side of this customized frontal, and whatever is left of the band, I would turn it and sew it back again. This would even just make our foundation stronger. I know foundation might not be the appropriate word here, but I hope you guys get what I'm trying to say basically. So here I'm showing what I'm talking about. Like, the band is going to be placed on the line on the side, and what is remaining, I will bend it over and sew it back to the end. So after sewing the band on the frontal like I did on this very side, I will then sew my band on both sides. Now I'm going to talk about the measurements of the band that will be sewn on this wig because of the way our frontal is. Take note of that too, because of the way our frontal is. Using a measuring tape, place it on one ear and pass it all the way through the lower end of the back of the head to the other ear. The number you will then get, you divide it into 2. Your answer is what you will use to measure the length of the band you are going to cut out and sew on the wig cap. So I went on to trim the areas that needed more trimming. I applied the shade of my powder on the part so that the wig would blend properly into my skin. I combed out and brushed out the front part, and then I sprayed got2b spray on the front part so that that area is going to look well laid after I scarfed the hair. So guys, do you know, if I even wanted to go out looking like this is a style on its own. Like with a scarf, it looks really good like this on its own. So here's the finished look, guys. I hope you all really like it. Please do well to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Till next time, as always, I love you all. Bye bye.